भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। चैप्टर 6। अथ हैनं सुकेशा भारद्वाजः पप्रच्छ भगवन् हिरण्यनाभः कौसल्यः राजपुत्रो माम् उपेत्य एदं प्रश्नमपृच्छत षोडशकलं भारद्वाजपुरुषं वेत्थ तमहं कुमारमब्रुवम् नाहमिमं वेद यद्यहमिममवेदिषम् कथं ते नावक्ष्यमिति समूलवा एष परिशुष्यति यो नृतमभिवदति तस्मान्नार्हाम्यनृतं वक्तुम् स तूष्णीं रथमारुह्य प्रवव्राज तं त्वा पृच्छामि क्वासौ पुरुष इति। The sixth and last question is being asked by Sukesha, otherwise known as Bharadwaja. Before asking the question, he narrates an incident in which a prince known as Hiranyanabha is approaching Sukesha, the student, and he is asking for the knowledge of Shodasha Kala Purusha. And Sukesha informs him that I do not know about this Purusha. And the prince is turned back, and now Sukesha has approached the teacher Pippalada, and he is asking for the same question, that is the Shodashakala Purusha. What is the purpose of this narration, we should know. The student could have directly asked, I want to learn about Shodashakala Purusha. Why should he talk about the previous incident? Somebody came and asked me, I could not give the answer, I turned him back, and now I want to know why all these excesses. If we ask, we give two tatparyam, two ideas for this story, and one is to teach the value of Satyam. So when a person doesn't know the answer, he must be honest enough to accept his ignorance instead of giving a doubtful answer or a wrong answer. So thus the value of Satyam is highlighted in this story. And the second thing is, the Sukesha Bharadwaja, who is a very learned person, who was approached by a prince, such a Bharadwaja himself doesn't know about Shodashakala Purushaha, which indicates that this is a rare knowledge. It is not that widely known, because Sukesha, the student, who was very popular at that time, who was approached by the prince, even he did not know the answer. Therefore, the rareness of the wisdom is indicated. Ascharyavat pashyati kashchidenam shravanayapi bahubhir yonalabhyah srinvantopi bahavo enna raja vidya raja guhyam etc. Tam durdarsham gudham anupravishtam. That rareness is indicated here. Finally, the student asked the question, Kwa asau purushaha iti. Asau purushaha means Shodasha kalah purushaha. Kwa vartate. Kwa means what? Kutra. Kutra means what? Where. So he is asking this question as though he already knows what this Purusha is. In fact, really the question must be, Kaha asau Purushaha? Madala adha keta. Who is that Shodashakala Purushaha? Must be the first question, and thereafter alone, Kwa asau vartate question can come. So where is your son? Suppose I have to ask. First I should know that you have a son. And then only I can ask where he is. Astitva jnananantarameva adhara jnana prashnaha sambhavati. So therefore, we have to supply two questions. That is, Kaha asau Purushaha? Who is that Shodashakala Purushaha? And where is that Shodashakala Purushaha? That is the question. Now, Pippalada, the teacher, is going to answer. Mantra number 2. Tasmai sahovacha Ihaivanta sharire Somya sa purushaha Yasmin neta shodasha kalaha Prabhavantiti. Tasmai. So Tasmai Bharadwajaya Shishyaya Vidhivad Upasannaya Tyasandhaya Jnana Arhaya Shishyaya ityartaha. So to that student who has approached the Guru properly and who is Satyasandhaha, very truthful, and who deserves the knowledge of Brahma Vidya, to such a qualified and Tasmai Bharadwajaya Shishyaya. Remember Mundakopanishad? Tasmai sa vidvan upasannaya samyak prashanta chittaya chamanvitaya yenaksharam purusham veda satyam provachatam tattvato brahma vidyam. So there Shankaracharya comments that when the student is a deserving student, no teacher can deny the knowledge. Whatever be the difficulty, the teacher has to impart the wisdom to a deserving student. Acharyasyopi ayam niyamaha yat nyaya prapta shishyam na pariharet. A shishya who has approached properly should not be refused, denied of that knowledge. And therefore, saha pippaladaha guruhu tasmai bharadwajaya uvacha. Kim uvacha? Ihaiva yeshaha purushaha somya. That somya is, oh pleasing one, just patting the student. Because Pippalada is a very great sage, and when you approach a very great person, because of the awe, because of the extraordinary respect, there will be fear involved in him. And when there is fear, you cannot listen to properly. Therefore, student always the teacher always makes the student relaxed by such nice addresses. Hey Soumya, be relaxed. Don't be tense. Don't be afraid of me. I won't swallow you. Even if you ask a wrong question, doesn't matter. In front of a big audience, if I ask a wrong question and cut a sorry figure, so many people are afraid. So the teacher says, don't be afraid. So therefore, Soumya, Somavat, Somatulyaha. Soma is the moon. The moon is supposed to be very pleasing. Therefore, the one who has got a charming form like that of a moon, He Soumya, Ihaiva Saha Purushaha Vartate. So, Ihaiva means Aspin Sharire Eva. So, Hridaya Guhayam Yo Veda Nihitang Guhayam Parame Vyoman. So, in the Hridaya Guha, as the very I, the awareness, as the very aparoksha aham, aparokshatvena, yaha nityam upalabhyate, pratibodha vididatvena yaha upalabhyate, saha eva purushaha yastvaya prishtaha. So therefore, the first job that he does is that the purushaha, the param brahma, is not an object at all. The param brahma happens to be the very subject. Therefore, it is as good as a mahavakyam. So, sarvagam shetad brahma, ayamatma brahma, as it was said in Mandukya. Similarly, ihaiva. Sharire means in the body, antaha indicates within the hridayam. But this should not create a confusion. If you say Brahman is within the body, within the hridayam, then the idea of limitation may come. So we should remember, when the teacher says Brahman is in the antahkarana, it does not mean Brahman is present in the antahkarana. It means Brahman is manifest in the antahkarana jiva rupena. Upalabdhisthanam ityarthaha. Natu kunde badaravat. Shankaracharya writes, it is not like there are fruits within a pot or a jug. When I say, it means fruit is only within, it is not outside. It is not like that. It is like telling Akashaha Ghatasya Antaha Vartate Itivat. It is available within the pot, outside also it is available. But to recognize the all-pervasive Param Brahma, we have to take recourse to our Antahkaranam. Tatraiva Sada Sarvagato Pyatma Na Sarvatra Avabhasate Buddhau Eva Avabhateta Swacheshu Pratibimbavati. Yadyapi Atma Sada Sarvagataha Asti Tatapi Sarvatra Na Avabhasate. It is not manifest everywhere. Buddhau Eva Avabhaseta. Like what? Swacheshu Pratibimbavati. Just as a reflection comes in a clean surface. Similarly, Chit manifests in Antakaranam. Therefore, it is said, Antaha Purushe. So with this, the first question is answered. The first question means here, Kvasau Purushaha. I said we have to supply another question also. Kosau Purushaha. Minala Kvasau. Kva means where. Now the second implied question is, Kosau Purushaha. Who is this Shodashakala Purushaha? And that Purusha has to be revealed, which is the topic of the following portion. Kvasau Purushaha ki chinna answer na. Ikaiva Antah Sharire. Kosau Purushaha is the rest of the 6th chapter. Now the student has made a statement, Shodasha Kalaha Purushaha. In this very statement, there is a problem. Here the word Purushaha means Brahman. Purushaha does not mean a male. Here Purushaha means Purayati Sarvam iti Purushaha Param Brahma. And Shodasha Kalaha means what? Shodasha means 16. Kala means part or limb, avayavam ityarthaha. And Shodasha Kalaha means Shodasha Kalaha yasmin saha Shodasha Kalaha. The one who is endowed with 16 limbs, the 16 parted Brahman, the 16 limbed Brahman. Okay, what is the problem in this? Shodasha Kalaha Purusha Nanadare Rike. Just as our local Purushas have got limbs, Hasta, Pani, Padadivate, Purushasyapi Avayavaha Santu iti chet, na, it cannot be so, because the Upanishad reveals Brahman as Niravayavam, Divyo Hyamurtah Purushaha, Sabhahyabhyantaro Hyajaha, Aprano Hyamana Shubhraha, Aksharat Paratah Paraha. So in Mundaka Upanishad it was said that Param Brahma is Niravayavam or Nishkalam. Nishkalam na anartham. Nirgataha Kalaha Yasmat Saha Nishkalaha. And if you say Shodasha Kalaha, it will be what? Sakalaha. So the student is asking about Sakala Purushaha, whereas the fact is the Purusha is Nishkalaha. Therefore, the teacher will have to take care of this misconception. And therefore, the teacher wants to talk about Nishkala Purushaha here afterwards first. And he will justify the Shodasha Kala somehow. Chuma vechikalam. Tarkalathiki you can give that name, and how that name comes he will tell later, and he is going to reveal Nishkala Purushaha. So I am going to use the word Nishkalam here afterwards often. Remember the meaning. Nishkalam means what? That which is free from all limbs, Niravayavam, Ruparahitam, Amurtam, etc. How to reveal Nishkalam Brahma is the question. How can the teacher reveal the Nishkalam Brahma? Because it is not available for objectification. Na tatra chakshur gacchati, na vag gacchati, no manona vidmaha na vidanimaha. So the eyes do not go there, the words do not go there, the intellect cannot go there. When sarva pramana agocharam sati, when that Brahman is beyond the scope of all pramanams, the teacher cannot use ordinary methods to reveal that Brahman. So then what he has to use? Extraordinary method. Some other method he should use, and that method alone is popularly known as Adhyaropa Apavadanyaya. I have elaborately discussed. This is only a revision session. Adhyaropapavadabhyam nishprapancham prapanchate shishyanam sukhabodhartam tattvajnai kalpitah kramaha. So Adhyaropa Apavada method is used so that the teacher can also teach, the student can also understand. So this methodology is called the Sampradaya, which has been there from Anadi Parampara. And what is the method? 4 steps I have talked about in Mundaka Upanishad. What is that? First step is introduce the world itself as a karyam, a product and effect. Introduce the world itself as an effect, a karyam. So this itself is a very difficult thing, because you can never talk about the world as an effect, because the material world, according to our experience, is eternal. Isn't it? Even according to scientists, matter cannot be produced or destroyed, and therefore the material world must have been always there in one form or the other. They may say it was in energy form or dot form. There was a big bang and came into the world, whatever it might be. Everybody thinks that the world of matter is always there. Therefore, the first job of the scriptures is to say that the material universe, the matter is a karyam. The jada prapanchaha is karyam. This is the first step. Then what is the next step? Once you say the world is a karyam, then what will be the next automatic question? Yedi idam jagat karyam syate, tarhi yaskinchit karanam tasya vaktavyam vartate. For this karya prapanchaha, there must be a karanam. Therefore, the second step is introduction of the karanam, which people do not know at all. Because all people are involved in what? Karya prapanchanda. Whether it is biology or zoology or botany or medicine or astrology or astronomy, all the sciences are dealing with the material universe. Therefore, the scripture has to introduce something which is other than the material universe and which happens to be the cause of the material universe, and that is the karanam. And the scriptures introduces the karanam as satyam jnanam anantam brahma. So what is relevant to us is the word jnanam. The consciousness, the chaitanyam, is introduced as the cause of matter. So this is also a shocking revelation, because according to the scientists, it is the matter that is fundamentally there, and the matter, because of certain reactions and configuration, by mistake formed into a cell or something, and then came the unicellular organism, consciousness and all. Therefore, what they think is consciousness is the product of matter. Originally, enna irundhathu? Matter. Adukapram life or the consciousness came out of it. Therefore, that is what they think. But the scriptures reverse the whole process and say that Chaitanyam, Jnanam is the cause. Chaitanya Rupam Brahma Jada Prapanchasya Karanam Asti. This is the second step, introduction of Karanam. And the first and second step put together is called Adhyaropaha. The first and second step put together is called Adhyaropaha or Srishti. Churukama chonna Srishti nartham. So Srishti or Adhyaropa is introducing the effect and the cause in whatever order it may be. I have put in a particular order, Upanishad may put in a different order. Because in Taittiriya order is different. Padalla karanam apara karyam sollirken. Ana Bhriguvalila Tiruppi Yatova imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayante abhisamvisanti tad vijijnasasva tad brahmeti. There from karyam to karanam, the order may be different in different Upanishad. Okay. Now what is the third step? The third step is this. So I should show that karyam does not have an existence separate from the karanam. Karanam vyatiriktena karyam nasti. So therefore, once I say that the karyam doesn't have an existence of its own, what am I doing? I am negating the very karyam itself as non-existent, different from the karanam. Therefore, karya nishedha is the third step. Karya nishedha, matter is negated. There is no matter different from consciousness. Consciousness Vyatirikta, Chaitanya Vyatirikta, Jada Prapancho Nama Kaschit Nastyeva. Karya Nishedha is the third step. And what is the fourth step? Jnabam Vardo. So once karyam is negated, the karanam cannot enjoy the status of karanam itself, because karana, the name is a relative name. It is there only as long as the karya buddhi is there. Yavat kalam karya buddhihi tishtati, tavat kalameva karana buddhihi syat. Karya buddhau nishiddhayam satyam karana buddhihi avasyam nishiddha syat. So once karya buddhi is negated, get careful. Karanam is negated, sollapradhu. Because if you negate karyam and karanam, what will happen? Shunyavada prasangaha. Remember, it will end up in Shunyavada. You negate karyam, but you don't negate the karanam, but you negate the karana status of Chaitanyam. And therefore, what is left out is karya karana vilakshanam shuddham Chaitanyameva avatisthate. So the fourth step is what? Karanasya karanatva nishedha. The karanatva status is negated from karanam. Then what is left out? Akaranam Chaitanyam is left out. What about karyam? Adu minnale poyachi. So therefore, akaranam Chaitanyam, karya karanam vyatiriktam Chaitanyam, turiyam Chaitanyam, Navamarda Mandukya. Therefore, Vishwa Tejasa Prajna, all of them are gone. That alone is left out. Now the third and fourth step together is known as apavada. The third and fourth step together is known as apavada. So, the nalu step puriyartho illiyo? Nyabam vartho illiyo? Puriyartho sollapadu. Minnala purinjindachu neenga. Nyabam vartho illiyo? So therefore, first introduce the karyam. From there go to the karanam. Then negate the karyam as non-existent, different from karanam. So I introduce the pot as karyam, first step. And thereafterward I say, yato va ayam ghataha jayate, yena ayam ghataha tisthati, yasmin ayam ghataha pravishati, tad vidignasasva tam mrittiketi. So from ghata I enter into mrit buddhi. So therefore I have shifted the ghata buddhi to mrit buddhi. From pot thought you have come to the clay thought. Pot buddhi to clay buddhi. Clay buddhi na tapa nalthikadingo. So first step and second step. Once you have come to the clay thoughts, I say, keeping your vision in the clay, tell me where is the pot. Then you will find that as long as my vision is in clay, marattai maraitadu mamadayanai, marattil maraindadu mamadayanai. The moment I have got the clay vision, pot is dismissed because it doesn't have a substantiality of its own. And therefore, keeping your eyes in the clay, I negate the pot karya nishedaha. And once I have negated the karyam, then I ask you to re-look the clay. Clay can be called cause only as long as you look from the pot standpoint. When the pot is negated, clay cannot be called even a cause. Therefore, I negate the causal status of the clay. Therefore, karanatvam of mrid also is negated. Then what is left out? Akarana karyam clay eva avatisthate. Clay was, clay is, and clay ever will be. In between what happened? Some confusion. That's all. Vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam mrittika ityeva sadhyam. You introduced a word called pot and got bound by the very word. So the word which is your creation became a Frankenstein for you. You created a word and you limited it, and thereafterwards got caught up amidst this word. So this idea is brilliantly brought out by Shankaracharya in Aparokshanubhuti. Karyehi karanam pashyet paschat karyam visarjayet karanatvam tato nashyet avashishtam bhaven munihi. இதெல்லாம் பண்ணினா என்ன இருக்கும்னா நீ தான் இருப்பான்னுடா. So avashishtam bhaven munihi. What will be left out will be jada rahita chaitanyam. I, the pure consciousness alone will be left out. This is called adhyaropa apavada nyaya. So first introduce matter, from there go to consciousness, then say there is no matter other than consciousness, then negate consciousness as even the cause of matter. There is only one consciousness. Consciousness was, consciousness is, consciousness alone will be. Then what is matter? Confusion. Okay. So therefore we are going to get now Srishti. Adhyaropa prakriya is coming in this line. Yasmin netaha shodasha kala prabhavanti is the beginning of Adhyaropa prakriya. Okay. Now the creation of Srishti can be explained in different ways. So in different Upanishad, Srishti is given in different ways. If you take Taittiriya Upanishad, it gives clean Srishti. Tasmadva etasmad atmana akasha sambhutaha akashad vayuhu vayoragnihi agnirapaha advyah prithvi. There is a beautiful krama that is given. And if you take Chandogya Upanishad, Akasha and Vayu are not at all said. Tat tejo asrijata. Then apaha asrijata, etc. Only three elements are mentioned: fire, water and earth. And if you take Mundaka Upanishad or Kaivalya Upanishad, etasmad jayate pranaha manas sarvendriyani cha kham vayur jyotirapaha prithvi vishwasya dharini. There it is totally different order. Thus you find the order of the Srishti is not the same. In some places we get Krama Srishti, some places we get Akrama Srishti, some places we get Vyutkrama Srishti. Order, wrong order, reverse order. இப்படி பல விதமா சிருஷ்டி பிரக்கிரியா இருக்கு. And why the Upanishad is not consistent? Why the Upanishad is not consistent? If Upanishad is a pramanam, it should talk everywhere the same. Upanishad de vakam adna enna pandrathu. So if you ask, the answer we give is bhinna prakaraha srishtayaha uchyante kasmat iti chet srishtau tatparya abhava. It is only a temporary introduction. Later we are going to dismiss it. So you are going to negate it. It is only upaya sovataraja nasti bheda kathanchana. It is only a temporary prop introduced. Sooner or later we are going to knock it off, like having a bamboo structure for a building. You are not particular about the color of the bamboo or how much beautiful it might be. You are not bothered. It must temporarily support. Once the building is completed, it is going to be knocked off. Therefore, srishtau tatparyam nasti advaite brahmani eva tatparyam asti tasmat srishtau kramaha na drishyate. And here in this Prashnopanishad, the Srishti is going to be introduced as the 16-fold creation. Creation consisting of 16 factors known as Shodasha Kalaha. So Shodasha Kalaha is the name of Srishti in fact. And using this Shodasha Kala, the teacher is going to teach about what? Brahman. As what Brahman? Nishkalam Brahma. For the Shodasha Kala Rupa Prapanchaha is going to be used to reveal the Nishkala Purushaha. And how does the teacher reveal it? He says, Shodasha Kala is born out of this Nishkalam Brahma. First Adhyaropam. And later he will resolve the Shodasha Kala back into Param Brahman. So therefore, the world is going to be introduced as Shodasha Kala, born out of Param Brahma. And later the Shodasha Kala Purusha will be resolved into Param Brahma. Param Brahma Vyatiriktaha Shodasha Kala Prapanchaha eva nasti. Okay. Therefore, Param Brahma gets a new title now. Shodasha Kala Janakaha Param Brahma. Or Shodasha Kala Adhishtanam Param Brahma. Rendu onnuda. Shodasha Kala Adhishtanam Param Brahma. And since Param Brahma is Shodasha Kala na Prapancha Nabam Vachingo. Since Shodasha Kala the Prapancha has the Brahman as the Adhishtanam, Brahman itself is given a temporary name Shodasha Kala Purushaha. So Shodasha Kala Adhishtanatvad Shodasha Kalaha iti nama. Shodasha Kala Adhishtanatvat Shodasha Kalaha iti nama. But here you should note, when we are using the word Shodasha Kala for the world, we should say Shodasha Kalaha Cholana. And when we use the same word for Purushaha, we should say Shodasha Kalaha Cholana. Adhan Vyasam. Shodasha Kalaha Chona Prapanchatikku peru. And when you want to name the Param Brahma, Shodasha Kala Rupa Prapancha Adhisthana Purushaha, then we don't say Shodasha Kala Purushaha Chanappada. Tappu. Shodasha Kala Purushaha Tappu. Shodasha Kalaha Purushaha. So Shodasha Kalaha Upadihi Yasyataha. Adu Upadiya vachindrukom. Idana Lakshanama vachindrukom. Idu peru Tadastha Lakshanam solrom. If you remember Bhriguvalli, with the help of the Prapancha, we are defining Brahman. With the help of the Shodasha Kala, we are defining Nishkala. Therefore, Shodasha Kala becomes the Lakshanam for the Nishkalam Brahma. Lakshanam means what? Indicator. And therefore, Shodasha Kala Lakshanatvat Shodasha Kala Purushaha iti uchyate. Okay. Now, one more question can come. What is that? I said this creation, the teacher introduces Prapancha as the Karyam and Brahman as the Karanam. And thereafterwards Shruti negates the Karyam and thereafterwards it negates Karanatvam said. So in this we will face a problem. When we say Brahman is Karanam, then a student will have the question, how can you say Brahman is a Karanam? Because if you say Brahman is a Karanam, the problem will be what? Yat Karanam tat savikaram karanatvat mrudvat. Or anumanam potuduvan. Therefore that which is a Karanam always undergoes a change. The clay cannot remain all the time as a lump of clay. It will have to undergo a shape change. It is avikaram. Gold, if it remains always in lump form, it will not become ornament. It also has to undergo at least some what you call spatial change or form change. It has to undergo. So then how do you say Brahman is a Karanam? That will be the next question. I can understand in the case of pot and clay. You can say pot is the Karyam, clay is the Karanam. Thereafterwards negate the pot and negate the Karanatvam also. But in the case of Brahman, how can the Upanishad say Brahman is the Karanam? So Shankaracharya says, when the Upanishad says Brahman is Karanam, really speaking, the Upanishad is not very much interested in saying Brahman is a Karanam. Because really speaking, Brahman cannot be Karanam also. And why do you say and confuse me? But Karanatvam is only a temporary status given. In that Karanatvam, there is no Tatparyam. So we should not go on inquiring, how is Brahman the Karanam, how is Brahman the Karanam, Tatparyame kadayadu. Temporary, mathematics, X vechukrom. X is only something, a status given temporarily. Sooner or later we are going to remove that X. Similarly here also, Brahmanaha Karanatvam also is temporary status given. So we should not have agraha in it. We should not go into the depth of it. For the time being you keep. And once you have understood Nirgunam Brahma, then the Karanatvam can be negated. And therefore, what do we do? For giving the temporary status of Karanatvam, alone we introduce the Maya, and we say that Karanatvam Mayikam. Mayikam na anartham? Tatkalam anartham. Mayikam na don't ask questions anartham. It is out of syllabus, remember. So Mayikam means don't delve deep into the Karanatvam status of Brahman. Upanishad is not introduced in teaching the Karanatvam, because later the Upanishad itself will deny the Karanatvam also. And therefore, Mayikam Karanatvam, which also is negated later. Okay. So now the Shodasha Kala Purushaha also is justified. Why he is Shodasha Kala Purushaha? Shodasha Kala Adhishthanatvate Shodasha Kalaha ityuchyate. But Paramarthataha, what type of Purushaha he is? Nishkala Purushaha Saha. Therefore, Yasmin Brahmani Yetaha Shodasha Kalaha. Yetaha means Pratyakshena Anubhuyamana. So this 16 kalas in the form of this material universe, the 16 kalas, that is the material universe, Prabhavanti iti. So Shodasha Kalaha Prabhavanti iti, from which the Shodasha Kalas are born. Here you should remember, it is Shodasha Kalaha. Kalaha sona yaru kurikirathu? Prapanchata kurikirathu. Shodasha Kalaha vuna Purushana kurikirathu. Therefore Shodasha Kalaha That is the prapanchaha prabhavanti. Now what will be your next question? What are the 16 kalas? And they are going to be explained in the next shloka, which we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.